Welcome Capricorn, this is Regina from Pacific Tarot getting ready to do your October general reading. This will cover the entire month of October. I have previously published an October new moon reading. The new moon happened yesterday and is intended to cover the first 2 weeks of October. So you're probably well familiar with the way we measure time that is distinctly different from time as it exists in the spiritual realm. So hopefully whenever you find this, it supports you. But before we get started, I want to thank you, Capricorn, for liking and subscribing my channel. As a Capricorn, you are one of my biggest fans, and I appreciate all the ways that you support me. So thank you for that. Let's get started with overall energy for the month of October. We have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is the card that indicates our reward and recognition for the ability to overcome obstacles. This is you having fought, being damaged, being bruised, being jostled, being undermined, but succeeding, but triumphing despite that. You have not won the war by any means, but you are triumphing over obstacles at this time in a way that your peers, those in your community, are acknowledging your hard work and your accomplishment. In the 10th house, where others see us, we have the Knight of Cups. This is interesting because I sense this desire to explore your emotional range. There's a dissatisfaction with the experience, the wealth of experiences that you have allowed yourself to date. You have stayed in your lane. You have tried to comply with an expectation of what was available to you, what you were allowed to have. And at this time, I feel your heart is bursting to experience a broader range of emotions, a broader exposure to the gifts and the beauty of the world, different ways of doing things, certainly different expectations of how love, support, attention, and nurturance can be given and received. In your first house, this is your perspective, and the Hanged Man is really consistent with the Knight of Cups in that you are pausing, you are stepping back from the situation you're in at this time, and you're recognizing that you must think differently in order to allow new ideas and perspectives into your space. This is you consciously opening up your perspective, consciously inviting in new exposure, recognizing that your thoughts create your reality. In the 4th house, the house of your home, your memory, your unconscious, we have the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is interesting because these could actually be reversed in many ways. But as they are reversed in your current chart, I see that your desire to do things differently, your desire to explore new ways of creating abundance for yourself, creating practical, useful tools and resources is really what is prompting your dissatisfaction with what you have done so far. This is not about a self-judgment or self-limitation. This is you understanding how you have limited yourself in the past, and as a result, your desire to try new things, explore new ways. In the 7th house, your significant others, we have the Judgment. And Capricorn, this is something I've been seeing for a while for you. This is you having gained a confidence, a power, as you've recognized your purpose on the planet, as you are solidly in recognition of the service you provide to others. You are allowing the universe to bring you a situation that did not fulfill its potential in the past. This is likely an opportunity, a relationship. It can be both. It can be many things. But this is where you are having a chance to do over, redo a situation or an opportunity in a way that you now understand how to do it well, how to do it correctly, how to be aligned with your purpose, and why this experience was not fulfilled in the past, and why you have the confidence, the wisdom, and the grace to pursue this and bring it to a successful conclusion. This is beautiful in your relationships. And there's a sense of refreshment, and you're adjusting your attitude, your perspective, and your expectations in order to receive this well. The Hangman is clarified by the Tower in the second house and the Seven of Swords in the third house. I love the Tower. I think it's because I have seen the benefits of this as a Capricorn, and this is really telling me that you have kept yourself in your lane for far too long. You have stayed in a safe zone, and quite likely as a result of some definite failures and difficult experiences that you've had. You've tried to hone your way safely into a modest abundance. However, the changes, the new opportunities that are being presented to you, the new information you're gaining is shifting your idea of what your life's trajectory is, what you are allowed to have. This is telling you that you are deserving of more. You are deserving of whatever you want, and that you don't need to stay in the lines. That's the message I'm getting, and this is deeply affecting because this impacts what you value, and you're understanding that you are your greatest resource. And as much as you can do to empower yourself, you are better off. This Seven of Swords in your third house has a lot to do with the ways in which you've allowed yourself to be sabotaged. And this has been a lesson of over many years, I believe. It is sometimes difficult for us to recognize that those that are close to us, those we believe we have supported, are not able to support us back. In fact, our happiness, our comfort, our abundance is threatening to these some folks. And they are very comfortable sharing dismissive quotes, misinformation, spreading rumors, or even lies, giving you misinformation deliberately, ways in which you feel demeaned, discredited, or devalued. This is no longer holding you back. You see this now for what it is. You see the indifference of your friends for what it truly is, and that it is a reflection of them, not you. You're no longer internalizing this. You now recognize and consider the source of all the information you receive, and understand that you're not doing what you're doing to make others happy. And that is deep. That's big for you, Capricorn. The Knight of Pentacles in the fourth house is clarified by the Hermit card in the fifth house and the Queen of Swords in the sixth house. I don't usually talk about astrological signs, and so I'm not going to. What I will say is there is a powerful friend you have in someone who, like you, has stayed close to the ground, who has conducted themselves in a very independent, sometimes isolated way, but someone who values their own counsel. Despite the ways in which you and others have been swayed, and this is giving me the story of a very specific friendship or relationship in which someone like you is also recognizing the ways in which they have allowed themselves to be swayed by the disapproval of others. Even if they made independent choices, understood what was right for them, they often allowed themselves to be swayed by their sense of obligation to others or their desire to be responsible in some way. You are really recognizing at the same time there may not be a relationship involved, but that you are your best friend here. Nobody understands you and your path like you do. And for someone who is responsible to others, who sees themselves as part of a community with contingent responsibilities as a result of that, this is powerful because you are recognizing that not only are you your best friend and your best counsel, but you are at the same time opening yourself up to hear the experiences of others, to mediate, to negotiate opportunities in which you can learn and grow something together. This is you not denying your emotions, but detaching yourself from your emotions adequately to be able to listen to the experience and information that others are giving to you, withholding judgment, but knowing that it is your rational self that is able to understand this sort of cycle of accomplishment, of growth for you, how you have gotten to this place of renewal, rejuvenation, rebirth. And this rebirth you're experiencing in your relationships is clarified by the Five of Cups in the 8th house and the Knight of Wands in the 9th house. You have spent, you are still in a place of grief around the things in your relationship, even in your life, that have not worked out. This sense of emotional pain and loss can subsume you, can overcome you. You are not finding your way easily out of the tremendous emotions that you customarily deny, that you customarily withhold from your experience or your communication with others. So this sense of loss or failure, you have not been able to share this with others. However, you are able to recognize that this failure, this disappointment, has actually been necessary for you to establish this stronger, more resilient relationship with yourself, to get to that place where you understand that you are choosing yourself, even if that is your own friendship, your own alliance, your own potential. This is freeing you up to explore more ways of being connected, more ways of finding meaning in your life. You're definitely looking to travel with all of these nights. You are moving. You want to move. You want to change. You want to grow, but moreover, you want to feel differently. You want to open yourself up to the range of positive feelings that you've created for yourself. And you understand that in order to do that, you have to be open to doing things differently. The Knight of Cups in the 10th house is clarified by the Five of Coins in the 11th house and the 6 of Wands, a repeat card in the 12th house. At the bottom of it all, despite the obstacles, despite the challenges that you are fielding at this time, your vision that is breaking you out of misaligned relationships, seeking support from those who are unwilling to give it, that don't want to let go of you, that don't want to see you move, is being ultimately supported by the recognition and the acknowledgement that you are experiencing. Your value to your community is being understood. The trials and tribulations you've had to overcome are being recognized and rewarded by the achievements you have gained, by the successes you are now expressing and celebrating with your community. You are being celebrated more fundamentally within your life for where you have progressed, where you have come. I'm going to finish off this reading with a hummingbird oracle. One dropped, but I'm not going to take it. And pull two. I'm going to take keen vision. As you sharpen your focus, the course ahead becomes clear. I'm going to leave this here, Capricorn. Thank you so much for a beautiful reading, and until next time, namaste.